To get to the South Kaibab trailhead and to make sure my car was where I needed it to be at the end, I parked at the Bright Angel trailhead and took the shuttle bus to the South Kaibab trail. Welcome to the Grand Canyon and welcome to the Kaibab trailhead. So it's my first time at this part of the park. I've only ever been to the West Rim before, and today I am going to hike all the way to the bottom of the canyon and back out again, which the National Park Service do not recommend you do, but I'm going to do anyway. I have spikes on, I have poles, I've got layers, I've got a shit ton of water. I've just realised that I've left my memory card in my car as I got off a bus that took me 50 minutes to get to this trailhead. So I'm a little bit cheesed off that I can't take the pictures that I wanted, but hopefully my GoPro and my phone will do it justice. It's going to be a hell of a long day. It's going to take me probably about 8 to 10 hours to do this. 20 miles, and as you can see, it's a hell of a way down. So wish me luck, and yeah, let's see what it's about. So I'm just about to start the trail. So I brought poles with me and crampons because you can see it's super duper icy. I just can't believe how far the bottom looks away. I've not seen anyone else yet this morning, but I'm hoping I'll pass a few people on the trail just to make me feel a little bit more confident. But I mean, look, I haven't even gone anywhere. I'm looking at the trailhead and look at this view. It's just, if this is what it's going to be like today, I think I'm in for the most amazing day hiking. So yeah, this is going to be a challenge by anyone's ability, but for my ability, this is a big challenge. So hopefully I didn't eat too many mince pies over Christmas, and I'll be able to do it. But yeah, I better get started. And the descent is instant, and as you can see from the trail down below, you lose elevation very, very quickly. But the stone and the colorings all around you are just amazing. So this trail was actually a man-made trail. It was blasted out of dynamite back in I think it was in the 60s, but I'll put it on the screen because I don't know off the top of my head. So starting off really icy. I think in the summer this is obviously not going to be the case, but for winter this area doesn't get much sunlight, so where there's snow or there's moisture, it's going to linger probably up until April. So definitely bring poles and bring spikes. There's also a mule station just at the top, and that, to get to the bottom of the canyon and then get back up again, you obviously need to hike. There's no road or anything, so they have mules that take things down to Phantom Ranch, which is the camp if you want to spend a night at the bottom, and they'll pass you on the trail quite often, so you always give way to mules, and there is a sign at the start just to let you know that. But yeah, here we go. So I'm at Point, nice and early getting to this point as well. So the sun is rising and the views are just insane. It's super duper steep. This area normally gets quite crowded later in the day, so I'm quite lucky to be here and have it to myself pretty much. Look at that view, and you can see the trail down leading to where we're heading. Initial sort of big focal point would be Skeleton Point. So I've just come to Cedars Ridge. Made it to Cedar Ridge, so it's about a mile down from the South Kaibab trailhead. First up is Uar Point, which tends to be quite busy. A lot of people tend to just walk and that's all they do for the day. And then this next sort of spot is called Cedar Ridge. There's no cedar trees here, so I don't know why it's called that, but there we go. But there is pit toilets here. There's no water or anything like that. But it's a great spot where you still get an amazing view of the canyon. And there's a few areas where you can see people would just like stop for snacks. So I just stopped and had some rice cakes and water. I don't feel like hungry and I don't feel thirsty, but I know on a day like today when you're going to do a big hike, it's really important to pre-anticipate stuff like that. You don't want to get hungry, right? So there's a few other guys that I've just passed and they're hoping to go down to the river as well. So I'm sure I'll bump into those guys again, and it's nice to know there's other people doing it. So yeah, the next stop for me now will be Skeleton Point, which isn't too far from here. So again, it's a bit more of a descent further down, and that's what's going to be the story all the way to the river. There's a few plateaus where you sort of level out for a little bit, but you always end up going back down. So now that I've stopped, I've cooled down a bit because I was in joggers and a down jacket earlier, and I've like delayered as the morning's gone on, but now I'm starting to get cold again, so I better keep moving. Towards Skeleton Point, you get these insane views as the sun comes up, and you really get to see all the colours of the redstone, sandstone. There's a few more people on the trail now. It is a Sunday, so I guess it's going to be a little busier than if I had done this midweek. I'm having such a good time. I'm making good time. I've been on the trail for about an hour and a half. So at this pace, it's probably going to take me like 3.5 hours to get down to Phantom Ranch, which is the goal. Anything more than 4 is kind of concerning, so yeah, I don't want to take that long. But it's beautiful. It sure is the most diverse place, and I think when I had not been here, I had different views. Like I thought maybe it was going to be very deserty, very barren, and it is very quiet and airy, but there's so much wildlife and plant life, and it's super dope. Check out these views, they're just insane. So you can see way in the distance where the stick is pointing to, there's a zigzag, which you probably won't see on this camera, but that's actually going to be I think they call this the silver and the red switchbacks, I think. And after Skeleton Point, that's where I'll be heading to make my way down to the next sort of layer before hitting down into the canyon. So yeah, it's just insanely beautiful, and I'm feeling very, very fortunate to be here today. Sun's out, getting a bit sweaty. I'm still in a sweater, which I may regret later, but for now it seems like when I stop I cool down, so hopefully that's a wise move to keep it on. I've got a long sleeve t-shirt underneath, and as I said, I've got leggings on rather than shorts today, just so I've got an extra bit of protection, also from dust and stuff as well. But I better crack on because I'm never going to get to the bottom if I keep stopping. And we've reached. So I've just made it to Skeleton Point, and I don't know why it's called that, but this is the point where they recommend day hikers turn back, but because it's winter I'm going to carry on. So I'm not sure if the camera will pick it up too good, but just here is the Colorado River. Actually you can see it there, yeah, that's the Colorado River. So this is the first point on the trail where you get a glimpse of the river, so that's how much further down I've got to go basically. But I'm going to actually take the trail this way, and you can just see the zigzagging trail down there, which will take me around. And then the next phase of the trail, so you've got the red switchbacks and then the silver switchbacks, and that takes you really deep into the canyon then. So I've made it well into the silver switchbacks now, and my knee is really jarring, so I'm taking my time a little bit. I'm conscious I don't want to take too long, and obviously not have enough time to get back up, but I think, yeah, it'll be okay. I definitely need to rest though for like a while, not just like for 2 seconds. I need to find a place, maybe when it levels out a little bit, and I'm just gonna stop for 20 minutes, have a sandwich, drink some water. I mean, it's not so bad when I'm on the flat, it's just the switchbacks because there's so many, it's so steep. And obviously on a normal hike, you usually tend to hike up and then hike back down. So yeah, I'll be fine, but it's just something that's giving me jip. Oh man, it's just insane. Like, you can see all the way up to where the South Kaibab Trail started. You know, it's so, we've come so far, you know. I'm very proud of myself. But I've seen a few people that I've photocopied throughout the day, so that... So you come to a bit of a waypoint, which I will put the name of the screen, the name on the screen of now, and there you've got toilets and stuff like that, and that's also where the Tonto West Trail forks off from. And then literally about 5 minutes down the trail, you come to this point, so you get another view of the Colorado River, this time a much bigger view. Which is quite reassuring because it means I'm not actually that far from the bottom. I think in terms of distance, it's about 1.5 miles, but I can see the trail. It goes all the way around here. I don't know if my thing's following it. And then it goes all the way down as well. And then I can see another trail that goes around, which I'll be taking later. So, I mean, this is a big hike. This is, you know, it's challenging. And I'm starting to feel it a little bit now. I've been going down a lot, which obviously, I think when you do a normal hike, you always think of down as being like a really good thing because you've gone up and now you're on the way back down. But for this one, it's like, it's so much down, like it's really hard going. And then obviously coming back up is all up. So yeah, I've definitely taken on quite a challenge today. I've got no room in my bag because I've brought my stupid down jacket. Well, it's not stupid, I love my down jacket and I needed it this morning. But obviously as the day's gone on, it's got warmer and warmer. So I can't actually fit my sweater in my bag. So I've draped it over my shoulders. But I might put it back on when I get to the bottom if I take a break and stuff. So I stopped for about 15 minutes just to rest my leg, have half a sandwich, and I'm going to press on. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to getting to the bottom now because I'll know then, I think I'll have that reassurance of knowing that I've, at least once I've made it to the bottom, yes, coming up is going to be really hard, but I'm at the lowest point and it's just up then. And I'm just going to take my time. Do you know what? If it takes me all night, it takes me all night. I've got a headlamp and I've got a warm coat. So yeah, but honestly, I am having the best time. And I think whilst this trail is definitely a challenging trail, this canyon is beautiful. This park is incredible. And it's one of those places where I think like it's really special and you have to come and see it to appreciate it, definitely. Finally got a little bit of good news for myself. I can see where the trail meanders down, and then I can see the Black Bridge, which I'll be crossing over. So finally, it looks like I'm almost at the bottom of the Grand Canyon, which is so cool. Like, I'm moaning only because my knee hurts, but this has been such an amazing hike down. I know there's the hardest bit to come, but it's so dope that literally in the next, hopefully, 40 minutes, I'll be at the bottom of the Grand Canyon. I just passed someone coming out of the canyon, and that's actually the first person that I've seen in like probably about half an hour. And up until that point, I'd seen quite the same people, and I don't think that those people that I saw who said they were going to the river are going to make it, because I frog hopped them a few times, and then I just overtook them and they never caught up. And I've looked back at the trail where like you can get some views of like the descent, and I don't see anybody. But then saying that, maybe they are just having their lunch and they're going to catch up with me, so we'll see. But yeah, I just like when I did my panorama trail in Yosemite in November, it's days like this today that I just feel so like emotional and like thankful for everything like that I get in my life. And the fact that this is my, you know, my job allows me to do this, like I know how lucky I am. And I just hope that by doing this video someone else learns something or inspires them to go and do it, because it really is the most, America is so fucking beautiful and like it doesn't get enough credit. But yeah, speech over. So I'm not too far from the river and I've just come across these bighorn sheep who are just behind me. So fucking dope. Oh my god, I'm almost there. Like, I am so achy, but Blackbridge is just here, so I'm gonna go down the trail through a cave that was built, and then across Blackbridge, and I'm gonna walk all the way around, and then there's Boat Beach, Phantom Ranch, and then I'm gonna cross the Silver Bridge, I think it's called. I might be making this up, but I'm gonna cross that one and then start heading all the way back up. So this day, honestly, I've just seen a little family of bighorn sheep, and there was like a mom, I guess, or a dad, whatever one it was, and then 2 babies, and they were so cute. And I've seen them before in Canada, but I've never seen them in the US like this. So for me, this is like super dope. So yeah, I'm very, very happy right now. But I better press on. I've got to keep moving if I'm gonna get it back up before it gets dark. So yeah, but having the raddest time, and I'll suffer for it tomorrow. But look, I honestly never thought I'd get to this point. So through the cave. Super dope. And I'm now on the bridge. And right down here in the Grand Canyon there's an emergency phone and a water spigot, so I'm gonna go and check out the water. So if you do what I just did, you'll come from this direction and then you'll come to this junction here, so you can see the North Kaibab Trail. So that's what's going to take you to the North Rim, just this way. What the fuck is that? And what is a snake? Yeah, there's a bloody snake in there. Oh, not a fan. But the way I'm headed is this way, so I'm going to go back over the other bridge and then eventually hike way beyond there back to the South Rim on the Bright Angel Trail. So I've managed to replenish my water, and there's also restrooms here as well, and it's a good spot just to hang. So I'm heading back now over Silver Bridge. So you walk through Phantom Ranch, there's loads of ground squirrels around, a few other things that I've sort of ignored because I don't like them. And I'm just walking over the Colorado River, and I'm going to be hiking for probably another mile or 2 along the shores of the river, and then I'll start the mammoth climb up the Bright Angel Trail. But I am so pleased that I did this. I mean, how dope is this? Like, the bottom of the Grand Canyon. Like, other people pay for like helicopter rides and stuff to get down here, but I've actually hiked, which is not even possible a lot of the time. So I'm feeling really proud of myself. And the views are amazing. You've got, you know, I haven't seen any rafting trips today, but sometimes you catch those apparently. But yeah, just feeling really, really proud of myself. Already very achy, so tomorrow's going to be really hard, but so worth it for this. So I've been on the river trail for a good half an hour, maybe 45 minutes. It's quite sandy and stony, so go down. It's actually a bit of a pain to walk on, especially with getting sand in your boots and stuff. But I should be coming up soon to a trail junction where there's a toilet, which I need because I've just drunk so much water. But the views again of the Colorado River are just amazing, and I am getting quite conscious that this is taking quite a lot of time, and I don't think I will make it up before it's light. Before dark. I think I'll be hiking in the dark, but it's fine. So yeah, not passed anybody since I came onto this section of the trail, so I'm not sure where everybody went, but I guess some people might have gone back up the way they came, rather than go the Bright Angel trail. So we'll see. But so far, I'm still here, still surviving and still moving, which is the main thing. I think the key with this kind of thing is just to keep moving as much as you can, even if you're moving quite slow, because you're better to make progress at a steady pace than to rush and end up injuring yourself. Here are the bathrooms. So there'll be more of these along the way. There's also going to be an opportunity for a water replenishment further up the trail as well. So this is, I think this is Pyramid Beach, but I will pop it on the screen for you now. The two little water crossings, you can start to feel a slow descent up as you follow this creek. My only huge concern is that is the top, which is a hell of a long way from here. It's going to take me a very long time, so yeah. You're coming through quite a lot of dense vegetation, so it is completely different to the South Kaibab Trail, which is quite open and rocky. This is very dense. There are a lot of bushes, a lot of trees, and you still follow that faint babble of the creek with the top of the Grand Canyon like luring over you, intimidating you. I don't feel like I've got any closer to it, if I'm honest. But the views are a lot more subdued of the canyon itself. You do get glimpses of the big red walls and stuff, but it's not anywhere near the spectacle that you've got coming down the South Kaibab. However, this does give you a different perspective of the Grand Canyon. It actually reminds me of Zion quite a lot, but it's pretty cool. Trail just ahead. It's just running up there now. The hike out of that valley was pretty pretty tough, but it was quite cool. I saw a couple of mule deer, white tails, and they were like on the trail for ages, so they kept moving up the switchbacks and I kept catching up with them, so that was quite nice. I've just done a few more water crossings here, which I guess if you do this in the summer or the fall, it's going to be completely dry, but I've crossed this creek about 4 times now in the last 10 minutes, so yeah, I can see the top, and it does look like it's getting closer, but it also looks very high. So yeah, I think I'm just in that point now where everything's a bit achy, and I don't want to like stop my progress. I think as long as I can keep moving, I will, and then I'm sure there'll be points when I feel like I physically have to stop for 10 minutes or whatever, but I just want to, I think the sun's getting a bit lower now. It's coming up to 3 o'clock, and I think it's quite unlikely that I'll get up there before sunset, which is a shame because I would have liked to have seen the sunset. Hopefully though, at some point the view will open up, because as you can see, you don't really get a Grand Canyon view. It's more of these meadows, which is still really cool, and it's a completely different vibe, which is nice. But I do hope that I get to have a glimmer of all the big buttes and stuff for sunset. That would be really nice. But yeah, I'm just going to keep plodding onwards, and I'm hoping that I can get up there as quickly as possible. So I've just made it to Indian Garden Campground. So there's some spots to take a rest here, so I've just had a little sit down. They've also got a toilet and water as well. And as you can see from the sign, it's 4.5 miles up to the South Rim, which has broken my heart because I thought it was less than that. But it's up there somewhere. And yeah, I'm in bits now, but I just want to keep moving and try and get up there in the next 3 hours, but ideally. So yeah, I'm gonna go and have a wee and get some water and press on. But yeah, it's got lots of amenities, which is quite handy, especially on this trail back. Obviously you're feeling the so progress is slow, but I'm getting there. So I can see, and I may be wrong, but I think that I can see some switchbacks just here. And then I think further up, there might be some icy ones. So I feel like that's the sort of part of the top I'm going to. So it's good to have just an endpoint. I always really struggle if I can't see where I'm going. I think there's a part of me that just feels a little bit more comfortable when I know where I'm headed. So obviously I've not filmed much of this section because I just need to keep moving. But I feel like I am getting somewhere now. The sun has crested over this part of the canyon, so I don't know if I'll get any more sunlight on me. So it's starting to cool down, so I'll probably stop in a mile or so and just layer up again. At least put my jumper back on and ditch the sunshades. But I mean, the views behind me are starting to open up and I can see the canyon again, which is really cool. I've passed a couple of people going down to camp at Indian Garden and even down to Phantom. So people are still out and about, so I'm not on my own yet. But yeah, I'm obviously in bits at this point, like, as you can imagine, so. So the GoPro's died, almost like myself, but I'm now at mile 1.5 to go, so it's very steep, and there's still a mile and a half, but I think I'll get up there just after it gets dark, but that's okay. It's taken me 9 hours, so it's taken ages. Probably be 10 by the time I get to the top. However, I have stopped quite a lot, and I've been doing videos and stuff, so it's fine. But my legs are absolutely in pieces, but I've just had the most amazing day, and yeah, it really is just fucking beautiful, this place. Like, it's so beautiful. And when you look down you can't even obviously see the river from here, but when you look at how far, you've gone in a day, it's quite incredible. Look at this incredible sunset. This is not real. This cannot be real. So beautiful. So I'm on the final stages now, and I've got my spikes back on. It's pretty icy, and I'm just soaking in this amazing sunset. I use my Garmin InReach to keep a track of myself on the trail and use it to communicate with back home to make sure I was safe. All trails also showed that I had a move-in time of 8 hours and 50 minutes. That's my move-in time, not including any break time. If you like this video, please like and subscribe for more.